Okay, today we're going to look at sequences. We are going to look at generating sequences from an nth term and finding an nth term of a sequence. Okay, we are looking at linear sequences, which means they go up by the same amount each time until we are generating them. Okay, but when we're finding nth terms, we're only doing them from linear sequences. Okay, right, when we are talking about an nth term, n refers to the position that the number is within the sequence. Okay, so if we wanted the first number in the sequence, n would be 1. If we wanted the second number in the sequence, n would be 2. If we wanted the 10th number in the sequence, n would be 10. Okay, if you wanted the 99th term in the sequence, the 99th number, n would be 99. Okay, so this has asked us to find the first 5 terms, the first 5 numbers of this sequence. Okay, so when we want the first number, we're going to do n is going to be 1 because we want the first number in the sequence. So we're going to do 3 times 1 plus 1. Then we're going to do 3 times 2 plus 1 because that's the second number in the sequence. Then 3 times 3 plus 1, 3 times 4 plus 1, 3 times 5 plus 1. Okay, don't forget we're doing big maths, so you need to do your timesing before you're adding. Okay, so 3 times 1 plus 1, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1, 4. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1, 7. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1, 10. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1, 16. So the first 5 terms of the sequence are 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. And the sequence could carry on. Okay? Right, so same here. We want the first number in the sequence, so I do 2 times 1, take away 1. Then I'm going to do 2 times 2, take away 1, 2 times 3, take away 1, 2 times 4, take away 1, 2 times 5, take away 1. I'm only going up to 5 because it asks for the first 5 terms of the sequence. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 2, take away 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, take away 1 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, take away 1 is 5, 2 times 4 is 8, take away 1 is 7, 2 times 5 is 10, take away 1 is 9. 2n, take away 1 gives us that sequence, okay? And the same thing here. Now, if you can get into the habit of not writing it, you don't have to write this step out, okay? You can just write the sequence. So 8 times 1 is 8, take away 3 is 5, 8 times 2 is 16, take away 3 is 13, 8 times 3 is 24, take away 3 is 21, 8 times 4 is 32, take away 3 is 29, and 8 times 5 is 40, take away 3 is 37, okay? You will notice, hopefully, and this is going to help us when we do our nth term, in this sequence, we're going up in 3s, okay? In this sequence, we're going up in 2s, and in this sequence, we're going up in 8s. Where is that number on the nth term? It's the number in front of n. Okay, so hold that thought when we do the nth term. Right, now this one will not work like that because it's got a squared in. So these only work as they are because they are just something n plus a number, or take away a number. Okay, this one, because it's got a squared, it won't work like that, so we need to do it like normal. So 1 squared plus 4, 2 squared plus 4, 3 squared plus 4, 4 squared plus 4, and 5 squared plus 4. Okay, so 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1, plus 4 is 5. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. 3 squared is 9, plus 4 is 13. 4 squared is 16, plus 4 is 20. 5 squared is 25, plus 4 is 29. That does not go up by the same amount each time. This one goes up by 3, and then it goes up by 5, and then it goes up by 7, and then it goes up by 9, okay? So just be careful, if it's got an n squared, it's not going to go up by the same amount each time. Okay. Right, we're then going to, on a similar note, look at how you find a specific term in a sequence, okay? So it's very, very similar. In fact, it's probably easier than the last one because you have to do less work, okay? So if we want to find the 10th term, that means n is 10. So in here, I just do 7 times 10, because that's what my n is, because I want the 10th term, take away 3. Bid maths, 7 times 10 is 70, take away 3 is 67. That's the answer, okay? Here, I want to find the 20th term, n is 20, so I just do 4 times 20 plus 5. Make sure you write that step out, what calculation you're doing, and then the examiner will know to give you the marks. For method, 4 times 20 is 80, plus 5, 85. So the 20th term of that is 85. Now, of course, you could write out the whole sequence. You could write out the whole sequence if you wanted to until you got to the 20th term, but it would take you a really long time, so it's much quicker just to do it like this. Okay? Similarly, the 100th term, so we can do 6 times 100, take away 1. 6 times 100 is 600, take away 1, 599. Okay, now we're going on to the squared ones. So we want the 6th term of n squared plus 4. So n is 6, so we do 6 squared plus 4. 6 squared is 36, plus 4 is 40. Okay, now we want the 10th term of 3n squared to take away 1. n is 10, so we're going to do 3 times 10 squared, take away 1. Now please remember to follow BIDMAS. Here we've got a multiplication, we've got an indice, and we've got a subtraction. Indice comes first in BIDMAS, so we've got to do 10 squared first. So we've got to do 3 times 10 squared is 100, take away 1. Then we've got to do the multiplication. 3 times 100 is 300, take away 1. Then we do the subtraction. 300 take away 1, 299. Okay, so that's generating sequences, and we're now just going to finish off by finding the nth term. Okay, you will be asked to do this in your exam. Alright, so make sure that you understand how we are doing it. Okay, right, when we generated the first 5 terms of our sequences at the beginning of this lesson, we worked out that once we'd got our sequences, we could go up by a certain number, and that was in front of n. Okay, so we just need to reverse that. So all we're going to do is you work out what is happening to go from each number to each number. So in this case, to get from 3 to 7 we add 4, 7 to 11 we add 4, 11 to 15 add 4. You will only be asked to do ones that go up or down by the same amount every time. Okay? So you work out what is going up in each time, which is going up in 4s. That number goes in front of n, 4n. You then say, how do I get from this number to the first number in my sequence? So how do I get from 4 to 3? Well, I take away 1. So the first sequence has an nth term, 4n take away 1. And you can check it. You can say, okay, let's say I want the 4th term. So the 4th term is when n is 4. So if I do 4 times 4, I get 16. Take away 1 is 15. Here's my 4th term. Yes, it was 15. It works. Okay, so this is what we call the nth term. Okay, same thing here then. So what am I going up in each time? Oh, I'm going up in 4s again. That's a coincidence. So it's 4n. How do I get from 4 to minus 1? I must have to take away 5. So the nth term is 4n, take away 5. Okay, here, what am I going up in each time? I'm going up in 8s, hopefully. So that number goes in front of n. How do I get from 8 to negative 3? Well, if I take away 8 from 8, I get to 0, and I've got 3 more to take away, which means I'll have taken away a total of 11. So it's 8n, take away 11. Okay, slightly trickier now because we're going down. So what are we doing to go from each term? We are taking away 2. So that number goes in front of n, so it's minus 2n. I then have to say, how do I get from minus 2 to 10? So I'm on minus 2 and I've got to go all the way up to 10. So that means I need to add 2 to get to 0 and then another 10. So in total, I've added 12. So the answer is minus 2n plus 12. Okay, and similarly here, we're taking away 3 every time. So minus 3n, how do I get from minus 3 to 15? I add 18. Minus 3n plus 18.